going along those lines, you saw today. So today is Tuesday that we're recording this. I don't even Tuesday, what June 4th, I think it is.
Hmm.
Um, so we are today. The Joe Biden administration released their immigration plan, and I think a part, as you talk about, what is happening with inflation, what is happening with the real issues out, in the United States. He's gotten so much pressure, and the interesting part is, for the longest time, he said, "There's nothing I can do about it. I need legislation coming in from the House. I need Republicans or Congress to give me something so I can do something." And he goes, "I want to do something. Give me legislation." Well, things have gotten so bad that I think every year now they've been about 2 million undocumented immigrants that have now been crossing through the border. And it's gotten to the point, and I saw this clip on CNN, and we'll try to make sure we include it into this. Is It's gotten so bad on polling where Donald Trump is leading Joe Biden by about 30 percentage points just on this one particular issue. That today Joe Biden decides to release his immigration plan, and it's like a mishmash of just absolute weirdness. So here it is. First of all, why release it now? Why didn't you release it a year ago? You've got a couple months before the election. You're losing by 30 points right now to Donald Trump on just this particular issue. But then the thing that really struck me was there's a provision in there that caps how many asylum seekers or undocumented can come to the border, to the port, before they start sealing up the border, right? Before they start just rejecting people. And so, why do you even give an arbitrary number? Or, I think it's 2,500. Why do you give a number
2,500.
of 2,500 and then say, then we're going to enforce the law? Why not just start from the get-go and just enforce the law? Why do you, and the thing that struck me, and this is maybe just my stupid way of looking at this, is, man, this is going to be a moneymaker for the cartel. Because if you can only get 2,500 for a port to come in, and if I'm the cartel, I'm going to start charging a lot more money, saying, look, we can only get 2,500 people to go in through this port because it's 2,500 today. Tomorrow we'll get another 2,500. The next day we'll get 2,500. So right now, it costs you $5,000 to cross or $6,000. You know what? That number now goes up to 10,000 to cross. So who's
Hmm.
ever got the 10,000, you're part of my 2,500 that we're going to try to get over right now. I don't get it.
The, it's the free market of the drug cartel, supply and demand. They
Well,
never taught
yeah,
that at
the,
Providence College.
the,
How come they never taught me that at Providence College in economics class? But that's
it's
true. I mean,
the
it's
human smuggling thing. There's a business there.
right. And again, I think people look at it and say, people aren't as stupid as politicians sometimes think they are. Sometimes they are, but most times they're not. And people look at it, first of all, as you said, they look at it and say, where you've been. It's like 9 million illegals have come across the border, okay, since Biden became president. Why do you wait now until June before the election to do something about this? You've been saying you need somebody else to do something, but now all of a sudden you can do something. I don't think people buy that. The other part is that what it's done is this used to be, remember, a border state issue. California, Arizona, Texas. It was a border state issue. This is now a national issue. That's the problem Joe Biden has. It was like he wasn't going to, most Democrats were not going to win Arizona. Most Democrats were not going to win Texas, and no Republican was going to win California running for president. So there was no political consequence there. Those votes were already in whoever's electoral column. Now, however, these are issues in Iowa, in Illinois, in New York, in South Carolina, in North Carolina. It's around the country. And so illegal immigration has now become not a border issue, but a national issue. And the effects that it has is not just in terms of drains on social services that were once going to other minority groups that are traditionally Democrat voting groups. The other issue is that there's the whole safety issue that comes with it.
Right.
It's not like it was before. People were coming across the border in California, and what were they doing? They were going up to
Yeah.
the Central Valley to work. That's not what this is. So it's not a regional issue anymore. It's not a border issue anymore. It's a national issue. That's why you see that showing up across the board in states around the country, and
Right.
that's where he has a problem because he has waited too long to do something about it. And putting a cap on something, like you said, after 2,500 people come across the border,
Right.
all that does is drive up the price for those people that are, what are the mules run,
Yeah.
the mules, yeah. So all it does is makes them more money.
Yeah. And the thing is that so there was a he just got interviewed by Time Magazine, and we'll try to include it in here on I think it was May 28th, where he talked about immigration, and they asked him the question about undoing the Trump immigration program, and he said, my only regret is I didn't do more of it. I didn't do it sooner." And now we fast forward to not really much of a fast forward to to Tuesday, and now he's out there with his new plan. It's just okay. May 28th, which was just a couple of days ago, he's got one message, and now he's got a completely different message.
Right.
It's just
It's
it's
well, and the other problem he
legislating
has
for the
is
election.
he has a problem on the left and he has a problem on the right because the people
Right.
on the left are
Well,
like, okay, now you're turning your back on us. The people on the
correct.
right are looking at it saying, 9 million, you decide to close the barn door after 9 million people come in the country illegally, and they're now a drain everywhere across the country. So it's
Right.
a no-win situation for him. And Trump has always been seen as strong on against illegal immigration, and it's well past the arguments that they used to have, which said, "Well, we're all immigrants" and all of this other stuff. 9 million
Yeah.
illegals coming across the border, and you don't know who they are. You haven't vetted them. You don't know, what drug cartels they belong to, what foreign governments they may belong to, where they're coming from. I just, it's way too little,
Right.
way too late.
No,
That's his
I
problem.
agree with you. I agree with you, and it's we'll see we'll we'll see how this gets because I mean look, for most folks you got to understand is once they put this policy out there, they'll wait 3 or 4 days and they'll start polling it, and they're still polling to see, okay, have the numbers changed? Do we have to go out there and be a little bit more aggressive on it? It's interesting that this sounds like it's done when you just got this new Mexican president just got elected this weekend on
Claudia,
Sunday,
Claudia.
and yeah, Claudia, and so she just
She and
gets
I are on a
elected.
first name basis, by the way.
There you go. You should, yeah. So she just got elected. Now, mind you, she still has to take over office, but now we've got this new immigration plan. So it'll be interesting to see not only how they take it, but also within the Democratic Party, because as you noted, there is divisions within the Democratic Party for him to put together a stronger immigration or border security, which gives you 2,500 people per day that can come in per port. How many ports are there? That's the other question I should try to find
Yeah.
out too. Because I
Well,
mean, does that make 10,000? Does that make 20,000 people that are allowed to come in?
it's still
Yeah.
crazy when you think about it because, those are people that are not vetted. These are just people, you see it. I mean, they just walk through the border, and
Well,
nobody
and
stops them.
there are exemptions too. It doesn't include unaccompanied minors, and it doesn't include another group of individuals. But it's like going down to the city and saying, okay, look, we've got a quota in how many crimes you can be committed before we actually start, arresting people. So, okay, we've got a quota of 2 carjackings, we've got a quota of 1 murder, and we've got a quota of 3 armed robberies, or 10 armed robberies. And so once you get past that number, then we're going to go follow, we're going to go follow the law and go and arrest you and prevent you from committing these crimes.
Well, that would actually be a step up in law enforcement in
It
California if
would.
they did
Yeah.
that.
Uh,
Just for the
that's a
record.
sad truth. That's a sad truth. Yes.
So I'll take that. I'll take that. It's just I just find it fascinating that they wait so long. It's not like all of this just happened overnight. I mean, it started on day one. And now all of a sudden there's this realization in the hope that, well, if we do something fast, people won't notice and we'll be able to get away with it.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, it's what people face every day, and
Yeah.
you just. I go back to New York when I see pictures of these folks that are here illegally, cross the border. We take care of them, put them in hotels, give them food, and then I see them punching up New York police officers out on the street. It's like, what are we doing here, people? Again, this isn't right or left. This is common sense. You don't do that. And
Yeah.
and as far as the new president of Mexico is concerned, I mean, I don't know. I don't think she would allow that to happen in her country. These are not people from Mexico that are coming across the border. I mean, I think that's one of the things some people on the right don't quite understand. It's they're coming from other countries through Mexico, and Mexico's got some pretty tough border policies. So I just don't I just don't think that the president's people get how big this issue is. It's not three states anymore. It's every state, and it's not just people coming into the communities or out on the street or whatever. They're taking away services from traditional Democrat constituencies in urban areas, and that's going to have an impact because people are looking at it saying, "Hey, wait a minute." That was money that was supposed to come to my community for my community development or my community, support or assistance. Now it's going to some other people who don't even live here or just got here.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, they got a problem on their hands with that. Where we all as a country have a problem with our hands on it, but it's one of those things. Again, I think that's another reason why you look at it and you say, 34 felonies, this guy's still doing well. Well, why? Well, part of it is because this isn't a binary choice. It's a choice you make between two people in essence, and people look at it and say, we don't think that Joe Biden has the ability to fix it.